Alright guys, so today we have the Moyu Weilong WRM V9 20 magnet ballcore edition with UV coating. Trust me, I did not make that up. Cube names are just getting more and more ridiculous day by day. And the reason I got the 20 magnet edition over the standard V9 is because I've heard people say that the 20 magnet ballcore actually has weaker magnets, and as some of you guys may know, I don't like strong magnets at all, so that's literally the only reason I got the 20 magnet edition. So yeah, let's open this cube.
"2,000 years later."
So the first thing I noticed after opening this cube is the beautiful UV coating. Like, just look at this. Okay, let's do some first turns. Yo. Okay, so right off the bat, these magnets are insane. So I've noticed the cube is really loud, and that's because of the magnets. Like, guys, just hear the magnets. Okay, so the cube is insanely fast. Like, that's a literal U5. That's a U6. Okay, so this is a little bit weird. So the magnets are actually really strong, but you can only feel them when you're like turning a layer individually like this. But when you're turning faster, like when you're spamming TPS, they don't feel as strong. Corner cutting is amazing. It can cut 45 degrees with ease, line to line. Also, the insane speed of the cube balances out the magnets really well, and I really like it. I love how this cube feels. I expected this cube to have a sort of plush or soft turning feel, but it actually feels really crunchy and tactile. I don't own a cube that feels even relatively similar to this one. Like, it's just so crunchy and tactile, and the strong magnets make it feel so satisfying. But this is not my ideal setup. It's way too fast right now. I definitely will slow it down. Let's take a look at the inside of this cube right here. So we have a magnet on the corner as well as on the edge. The ballcore not only affects the corner but also the edge. I'll set this cube up to my likings, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts in the review part of this video. So for tension, I found this cube way too loose out of the box, so I actually tightened it by half a turn. Now this didn't sacrifice the corner cutting of the cube at all. Instead, it made it way more controllable and way less flimsy. For spring compression, I have my cube set on the 4th click, which is a great balance between controllability and speed. These are the 3 lubes I used to set up the cube. So first of all, I used a ton of Diane lube to slow this cube down because this thing was honestly just unusably fast. So I think I used like, what, 6 or 7 drops of Diane lube to slow it down. And to make it smoother, I used a combination of GAN V3 and Mystic. These two worked together really well and gave the cube a really plush and soft feeling. And yeah, that's basically my ideal setup for the WRM V9. I really like the setup because it controls the cube a lot, and it also gives it a super plush feeling, which once again, I really like. So yeah. Alright, so one thing I want to mention actually is that this cube is really hard to set up. My first impressions of this cube were actually really good, but after I started to do some solves off camera, I really did not like it. And that was kind of purely because of just one thing, and that was the edge to core magnets. So unlike the corner to core magnets, the edge to core magnets actually repelled instead of attracting. Since the corners were attracting the core and the edges were repelling the core, whenever you tried to do a turn, halfway through that turn, it would kind of stop, as if there was a barrier in between. This is really hard to explain, but if you guys have this cube, you probably know what I'm talking about. So yeah, since every single turn was getting stuck halfway, it made it really hard for solves to flow well on this cube. I had to add a lot of lube to make this problem even remotely go away. So in conclusion, if you're a newer cuber and don't have much experience with setting up cubes, I would not actually recommend this to you. However, if you're used to setting up cubes and are confident about doing it, this cube is a really good option because after proper setup, it became pretty great. Alright, so that pretty much concludes the video. I hope you guys found it fun and entertaining to watch, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.